Even? Oh my God, I'm so nervous today. Hey, it's Friday. Happy Festool Friday, everybody. It's 12 noon, and it's Festool Live. And I got to tell you something. The only time I get nervous doing this is when Minnie comes in last minute with Sparky. Hey, pan over. Hey, everybody, let's talk about the room. Look at Minnie. She's getting ready for the holidays. Check out Sparky today. He's standing up. How you doing, Sparky? Over here we have Big D. He's on the board. Woo! We're getting ready for the holidays, everybody. And on the camera, we have Chris, the unit Cybert. But online, we have Brent Shively, who is answering all your questions. And just what I think it was yesterday, series number 5 of the Build with Brent series got released on YouTube. So go check it out. But I also want to mention on YouTube, yes, we always have Festool Live, but we also have Festool Shop Talk. And a new one, you might have seen the trailer on your YouTube channel. We're coming out with Inside Festool, I think next month or the month after. And it is a great series. You'll get to see behind the scenes here and at Festool. It's fantastic. I can't wait to see that on YouTube. Okay, so also, Festool Live will live on Facebook and Instagram. Please go friend us. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. That one was for Chris. Whew. How'd I do? Okay? I'm not out of breath. Whew, that's a first. Okay. This is I feel like Chevy Chase. Okay. This is this is episode number 78. I've been waiting for this one. What's called squaring with the track saw, and you're going to see the process. What I'm going to be building, or what I built, is this piece of maple right here. I brought it together. I started with pieces like this. I'm going to step over you, Sparky. Okay? I'm building a countertop. And the question I used to get, was when we built farm tables, we would just put all the pieces together to get the close to the width we want, a little overage, and length, a little overage. And someone said, how do we square this now? And I go, it's the simple process. And I go, well, how simple? So I just want to show you how I got to this piece right here. I do this with all the scraps from those classes. I just join them with a domino here, and then I straight line rip them, and then I join them together. I'm not concerned because it's kind of a rough look that I'm trying, the desired look I want. I don't care if this is perfectly parallel here and here. But in the end, it will be. And you'll see what I'm talking about by the end of this episode. We've already done this. And when I say we've already done this, in cabinetry, you always rip first. That's why you use a table saw fence, right? Or the Festool Parallel Guides. Okay, and then you cross-cut for square. So say you're building your cabinets, you get your 300 millimeter widths and your 600 millimeter width, and then you go to squaring. Okay, now on a table saw, sometimes the squaring is done with a sliding table attachment or a cross-cut sled. But the process remains the same, even with a tabletop or a countertop. Now, I'll show you the measurements I'm doing. This is where the countertop's going to live. I've sanded it pretty much flush. The final sandals will come, but the next process after I square it today will be putting on the round over with my 2200. Okay, but I need to get my final dimensions because of the profile I'm going to put on there. So as I measure this is a 400 millimeter depth on my cabinet. I'm going to go 1 inch overage, not 1 inch, but 3/4, which is actually 20 millimeter. So understand those measurements. Now, when I was setting this up yesterday, I went through the process 3 or 4 times to make sure I had everything set up right. And I said, man, this is going to be too long. So what I did is, I don't know what episode it was, but I showed you how to straight line rip a board. I think I did it with a 75. Okay. Now, what I did yesterday, and I made my mark after I did this, and this process remains the same when you're using like a table saw. You make sure this is straight line ripped. That piece of plywood should be straight line ripped first. It does not come from the factory with a perfect straight. Okay, you want to get that perfect straight. A lot of people buy a track saw from Festool just to get that before they put it up against the fence of a table saw. All right, but see this right here? I made this mark right here. That's where I'm going to reference my parallel guides. I'm in. Max here? Oh, I made a mark. Yeah, that's what I said. Okay, so I straight line ripped it yesterday. I did that in another episode. Okay, so I'm going to take my guide rail and I'm going to flip this board around and I'm going to use the parallel guides in a different way than I used them in previous episodes. But I want to show you why I do this. And it's going to answer a question that I would get constantly when I cover the parallel guides in classes. And I want to show you how to do it. Okay, so here we go. So I'm going to take this board and flip it around because I'm going to reference this point here on here, but from the back edge of it. So I'm going to flip this board around like this. And I want to take a measurement because you're going to see this. It's crazy how off this is. Now, yesterday I took a measurement here. This is just rough, but I took a measurement here. And this board on the outside is basically not tapered. But if we can see this, and Chris, I'm going to have you go down to the end here and show the width here, but then come down here. Check this out. It's actually got a taper to it. So I'm going to remove some of that taper to get a perfect parallel piece. And hopefully you understand that. So if we remember our measurement, I think it was 420. That's what we need the final dimension. Okay? Now, if I took this, okay, in this dimension now, it's a parallelogram. And that's wrong. Or not a parallelogram. It's kind of like I forget the definition. What? Oh, what? It actually looks like a polygon to me, but it's got a taper to it. So I'm never going to be able to get square unless it's parallel. And I'm going to hammer that notion to you all day because I want to make sure you understand that. Don't square it first. Get it perfectly parallel and then get your 90s. Okay, so let's look at this. I'm going to take it like this, and I think this is a good visual. Now, I showed you how to set up the parallel guides. I think that was episode 26, Big D? Okay, episode 26, okay? You can go back and reference that, but I'm going to bring this in here. Okay, and I'm going to actually take a pencil so you can see this. And check this out. Oh, by the way, I have these set at 420 millimeter. And look at that. Look at the taper. So now I need to get that perfect parallel cut, and I'm going to achieve that right now. But I'm also going to cover this. In the past, when I'm doing rips with the parallel guides, I have these referenced on the outside. So when I'm cutting with them, I'm actually pushing these points toward the board. In this part, okay, because I wanted to get it good for the live, I'm going to be referencing it like this with the saw. I'm going to bring this over here so you can see this. Okay, let me just, okay. Oh, I got to cycle that on. Hang on. I got to pair my Bluetooth with my dust extractor. Instead of going over the dust extractor, I'm just going to hit this button here. And now it comes on. Okay, so when I'm doing this, okay, as I'm cutting, watch, this point here could move off of. So the question is, and I've often said, yes, you can do it, but I want to show it today. I want to clamp this so these points, Chris, come over here, look, maintain that perfect reference point at 420. See that? Big D, can you get that in here with the overhead, baby? Okay, that point has to be referenced. So how am I going to achieve that? Everybody wants to know why the point of reference is here. It's because you can clamp it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this to clamp today. I'm going to loosen it up. I have these set at 420. These will remain accurate. Okay. I'm going to put my clamp on first here. I like to use the screw clamps in this application. Okay. I'm not going to clamp it yet. I'm going to put these back on. Okay. And that's why we have, see this? I got this all the way on there, but you see the point of reference now? It's because there is, as I call it, this little L knuckle here, and you can still clamp the parallel guides. Okay. A lot of the times when I'm referencing it, I usually on the outside here, like I said before. So I'm actually pushing them up against here. But here I'm pushing them away. So that's why I would clamp it. And I just like it. I just use clamps when I'm ripping hardwood, because sometimes in hardwood or any kind of, even softwood, there's little undulations. So yeah, maybe that could move on you. This is where I need that perfect parallel. So I'm just going to take that. I'm not going to lock it in. I'm going to bring this back over. And this is just another technique you all can use using your parallel guides. So I'm just going to bring this in. This is my starting point. I'll lock this one in first, and then I'll go back and tighten that one because I got a talking. Big D, how's that coming out? Good? Okay, I'm going to bring it in here like this. I'm going to have perfect starting point. I'm all locked in. I'm just going to come down here. I'm going to bring her down like this. Tighten this first. It's a process. I show you that in using the parallel guides, episode 26. Okay, and there we go. I'm basically ready to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this point in here, and I'm going to tighten up the clamp. And this is a good application for the screw clamp, because you see where I am? If I had the ratcheting clamp, this one, I could not get close to my board here. I couldn't get the registration I would want. I'm right up against there. And I bring this one right over here. See how that's up against there now? That won't move. I'll bring my clamp in, and I'm basically ready to rip. Now, you're going to, hopefully you notice what saw I grabbed today. I grabbed the TS, I always have to look, because I get mixed up with all the numbers and the letters. This is the TSC 55, the brand new one for us here in North America, KEB. The key to it, yes, a lot of the times in other applications, I used to use the 75. But boy, the more I use this cordless saw, it's because this is a thin curved blade. It's 1.8 millimeters. It is unbelievable. But you'll notice this is the blade that comes with the saw. It's a 42 tooth alternating top bevel. I could put on the Panther blade, which is our ripping blade for this application. But in this episode, I'm going to be ripping and cross-cutting. So I'm going to go in the middle, and we have, and I already put it on here, the 28-tooth alternating top bevel. We call it the universal blade. Okay, so I'm going to set this up. I have everything set up earlier. Make sure my splinter guard is down. I've already set my depth. Now, the other thing I want to show you is I don't start here. I always check to make sure I am forward of the cut and my... And remember, when you're straight line ripping, get behind there. Don't put lateral tolerance on there. And this saw is unbelievable in ripping. And what I'm going to do is you're going to see it's actually quite fast. I let the saw do the ripping. I don't push it. I don't overly push it. And I always make sure I'm fully forward of the cut, and then I lift it up. Now, I don't know if we can get this on the camera, but that is an ultra smooth with barely a saw blade mark in there rip. And look how that works right up against that splinter guard. Okay, I'm sorry. Every time I use this saw or any Festool track saw, I am just blown away at the quality of cut. So I'm going to set this over here because later today I'll use this as some shim stock. Whoop, 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 whoop. Okay, good. There's the first whoop, 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 whoop. Minnie, man, you're writing a lot of... How many people we got watching right now, Big D? Wow, man. Okay, so I'm going to take this off. And now you'll see how this is nice and parallel. Then I could take it. I'm going to cross cut. So let's just take this off like this. I'm going to set this down here, and you can see those clamps on there just like that. See that? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a quick measurement here just to see where I'm at. Beautiful. And Chris, come in here. Come in here, everybody. Check that out. 420 dead on. And it's 420 all the way down. See that? And I didn't have to take this piece and hump it through a table saw. Okay? Now we're ready to get that 90. So how do you do this? In the Festool system, this is 32 millimeter thick. In the Festool system, we have this. It's called a multifunction table. And I show you how to set this up for perfect square, how to get that perfect 90 degrees. And episode number, oh, check that out. Show. See how good this guy is? This is the coaching I get. Episode number 5. Okay. Oh, look who's watching. Selah and Judah. And Joel, who's 7 years old, he's a big fan. Nice to see you guys are here. Selah, Judah, you're always there. Thank you. Merry Christmas. Okay, so next, we're going to get that 90. And I'll show you a couple different ways. Let's start on this side right here. Okay, I want to get a 90 on here. So I'm going to take it over here, and this is where I usually hit Chris. Okay, and I'm going to set it right on here. And I'm going to get to the other side. Let me get my saw, Chris, so you're not in the way. I'm going to set this up here so I'm not in the way. Perfect. Hey, that looks kind of cool. All right, let's get my saw. I'll take this over, get it like this. Let's get it. So this is what I like to do when I'm setting up for the thickness of the material on the MFT. I take it like this. I put pressure here. And I lock it down here, and then I come back here. If it's a small piece, I'll move it all the way back, but this is just about perfect. I'll take it, and I'll make sure, get this, that this pin is right in this channel. All right, I'm going to bring it down. I already calibrated this yesterday, came in this morning, redid it just to make sure. And I'm not going to kill it up against there, but I'm going to bring it right in there like this. This is setting right down on there. I check a few things down in here. I make sure that there's no sawdust in there and it's right up against there. And I'm going to bring it in here and get that 90 on there. Oh, I hit the Bluetooth. Whoop, 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 whoop. So here we go. Okay, so I'll fix this later. I promise I'll cut this out, everybody, to the final dimension. But guess what was in the middle of that end cut? A domino. Look at that. But you'll see this there. I'll do my final cut later, but see that right there? Now let's check this out. I am going to get my square, and we'll look at it right now. Oh, look at that. That is nice. I'll come over here, check it over here, and there you go. There's my first 90. So what I always do is this. I make sure I get my 90 on there, right? And now I got to get a 90 on here. Let's go down here and see if this is 90 already. I doubt it. Nope. See, look how far out it is. See that? So let's try. Say you don't have an MFT3, okay? Let me show you how to get a 90 with this square. Or any square. And guess what? We always joke around about this, don't we, everybody? Make sure your square is square. Okay? So there you go. And hopefully you know how to do that. So I'm not going to take a final dimension, but what I'm going to do, because I want to, after this episode, I'm going to cut the domino out. Oh, you know what? I really don't, because that one will go up against the wall. You'll never see it. Up against that, it'll butt up against the wall. So this one's critical. So I'm still going to do final cut after the episode because there's a lot of labor in here. But let's just say I cut this at 1430. Okay, and I'll make a tick mark here. That's all I'm going to do because my lineup is effortless. And Chris, I'm going to have you, I think, swing around here. Okay, so we get a good shot of this. I'm going to get a guide rail right here for setup. What I think is imperative on this is making sure, see, I could line this up. I could make another, I could stretch my tape over here and make another, what as I call tick mark and split it. But here's what I've always done, is I've actually taken a good square and brought it in like this. I'm going to do this really quick. I'm going to get a couple of clamps over there to make sure I have no movement on this. And then, so we had a joke going in going, Sid, you got everything set up. You got plenty of clamps. I never have enough clamps set up. I got to go over and grab a couple more because these are the things in woodworking where, in something like this countertop, you have a lot of labor in here. You don't want to make a mistake, or you want to try not to make a mistake. You're going to in woodworking, I promise you. But if you can eliminate a lot of things, it's best to take your time and layout and set up first. And that's what I want to show you today. Because if I don't cut this right, guess what? I got to go back to the drawing board. And what I have in this layup right here is a ton. Okay, so I'm going to get a rough tension on there. I'm going to bring a square in here, and I'm going to tighten it up. And then I'm going to come on the other side here and tighten it up. Now, there's all kinds of apparatuses out there for this. I'll just bring it into my mark. Like I said, I'm going to be going through this again. I'm going to put a little tension on it. And what I like to do is come over here and check this, which is right on. But you know what? I want to ensure that this is going to be a good cut. You're good, Chris. I think I can step over that without altering it. Did I do that? Okay, and I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to grab it just like this. Okay, and this is how I've always done it. I know there's all kinds of stuff for this, and I just verify on a couple of things. I'm going to come back in here, and I'll go back and forth, because guess what? If I take my time doing this, I'll have what? That 90-degree cut. This is how I've had to do it sometimes. Yes, have I always had an MFT? Yes. But let's get this 90 on there. Now, there's sometimes, if you get a larger piece, you want a square. You need a bigger square. Now, that's a big square, right? So I can come in here and verify, and you'll see how that's right on. So there you go. So let's make the cut. Whew! Man, I haven't had this much fun in years. Boop, 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 boop. Cool. Once again. And there's that beautiful cut with that track saw. And we'll get that 90 on there. And there you go. I know. Let's take that off. Let's take this off. Just get it out of the way. How we doing, Minnie? I'm just going to bring it over here real quick. And you'll see 90, baby. Okay, right over here. Look at that. Perfect 90 all the way. So that's a couple of different ways of squaring your piece. Yes, you can go here to here and here to here and do your diagonal measurement, but that's not going to really guarantee square or 90 degrees. Okay? Go through the process, get perfect parallel, okay? And then do your crosscuts. And I've said that probably 5-6 times, and I'm glad I did. So there you go. And we're good, men? Guys, we good? Derek, did I cover everything? We're good? Well, good thing I was following a script, huh? Okay. Where do I start, Minnie? Backside? Minnie is not going to be here for the next 2 weeks? Where's our Milan fans? Minnie is going to be in Milan, Italy, aren't you, Min? You taking Sparky? Are you? Oh, my God. No, she's not. Wow. You know what, man? I forgot you were leaving that early. That's awesome. So we'll have a special guest in here next week for the board. Okay. So, hey, let's start. Oh, my God. Oh, look who's number 1 on there. Hey, Mr. St. John Moss, how are you? How you doing, family, over there in the Bahamas? It's Brian from the Bahamas, everybody. And look who's number 2. Ian York from East Yorkshire. How you doing, Mr. Harrison? We got Dawn again from Albuquerque. Dawn, you guys are always there. Mike M. from Austin, you're always there. Pittsburgh, PA. Yolarvi, Finland. Lausanne, Switzerland. We have Brent, Apple Hill Creative in Louisville, Kentucky. How you doing, Brent? Good. Sun City West. Whiteston, New York. The Netherlands. Wow. We have a 2-pack from the Netherlands. We have Dana from Yakult, Washington. Wake Forest, New York. Warren from Batavia, Ohio. Perth, Australia. Bozeman, Montana. Tom and Kelly, you're always there from Eatonton, Georgia. Michelle and Kelly from Queen Creek, Arizona. How you guys doing? Good. Happy holidays, everybody. We have Jan from Denmark. Tom from Zanesville, Ohio. I'm going to get it. Suriname. You're here. Always. Edmonton, Alberta. Hillsdale, Michigan. Mark S. from Woodcraft, Springfield, Maryland. Mark, how you doing? You're always there with us. Jeff from Clarksburg, Maryland. Novato, California. Macbeth Hardwoods in Stockton. Adam from Custom Woodworking in St. Louis. How you doing, Adam? Eden, New York. Ed K. from Douglasville, Georgia. Say don't spray. Paul from Reading, Berkshire, UK. You like that, Minnie, huh? We have a Badger from Plano, Texas. How you doing, Badger? We have Toledo, Ohio. I wonder if that's Mark Badger. I used to know Mark Badger from Fort Lauderdale. George from Naples, Florida. Greg from Chalade. I know how to pronounce that. Chadle, England. Georgetown, Texas. Oliver from Southern California. Tom from Zanesville. Johnny O from Atco, New Jersey. Rio de Janeiro. We've had Rio before, huh? Can't believe how cool this is. Peter from Portsmouth, Rhode Island. How you doing, Peter? Mechanicsville, Virginia. I know where that is. Bamholder, Germany. Rock and roll. Caldwell, Idaho. Sopron, Hungary. David from Paris, France. How you doing? How's the weather in Paris these days? Okay. Très bien. Merci beaucoup. Très bien. Okay. Minnie, I'm turning it around. Oh, sorry, Sparky. Sparky, are you okay? Oh my God. Look at all these wonderful people. Fishers, Indiana. Rio Rancho, New Mexico. Berlin, Germany. We have Dan from Kingman, Arizona. Matt from Tinley, Illinois. Belgium. How you doing, Belgium? Cuyahoga Valley, Ohio. The Mun. What? The Mun? Hey, how you doing, The Mun? The Mun. Bloomington, Indiana. Chris from Malta. Hey, Malta is off the coast of Italy. I know somebody who's going to be in Italy for a while. Chris from Malta. Hey, Chris, I think you've been with us every single episode. Thank you so much. Just like Ian, you guys are rock stars with us, and I'm probably not calling out everybody who's been there, but those are the ones. Thank you. Independence, Kentucky. Poland. Rock Hill, South Carolina. I know that place. Medford, Mass. Houston. House Cave, Kentucky. We have a lot of people from KY this week. Santa Fe, New Mexico. Mountainside, New Jersey. Stephen from, oh my God, you guys making stuff up. Quartzsite, Arizona. Ottawa, California. Gary from Kent, England. Cardiff, Wales. How cool. Belgium City. Memphis, Tennessee. Peter from Lippe, Germany. Germany. Katy, Texas. Downers Grove. Or Downers Group. Downers Groove. Downers Groove. Heisberg, Mass. Jeff from Calgary. Joe from Waseca. Rockla, Buffalo, Minnesota. How are you? Wow. Westmouth Island. Aka, Finland. This is unbelievable. Aka. Okay. Aka. Joe from Ireland. Oh my God, I'm going there next year. Peru, Belgium, Estonia, UK, South Devon, Hebron, Ohio. Do you guys pronounce that Hebron or Hebron? In Maine, we call it Hebron Academy, Hebron, Maine. A lot of people call it Hebron. So, whatever. Pine Brook, New Jersey, Salina, Kansas, East London, West London, North London, Southwest London. I'm just kidding. I'm messing with you, Minnie. We have somebody. Minnie goes, I didn't write those, but we do. But we do have in East London. We have Cincinnati, Cincy, Bacaville, Quebec, then that's Boucherville, Quebec, and I think that's it. Thank you. Hey, everybody. From everybody here, everybody who's helping us online, we want to thank you so much. Huh? Oh, how you doing, Polly? Yep. How you doing, Jason? Good to see you. I think I say this, but as we're winding down, yep, we have another episode. It'll be next week. We're winding down the year. We're getting ready to go on Christmas break. And I just want to tell you or mention to you from our hearts, we want to wish you happy holidays. We love you. You have supported us. Minnie and I, we call this our community. Thank you for being part of Festool Live. Without you, it's nothing. So I just want to say thank you. You guys have a great Christmas season. We will be here next week, I promise. So other than that, I think it's a wrap, everybody.
I have a question.
Oh, shoot.
I have to get close. Were you calling Derek a big square earlier?
He is. That would be square. Hey, everybody. Oh, if I go like that, that's a rectangle. Okay, everybody. Thank you so much, Sparky. You got anything to say? Sparky, you are going to tear up Italy. I know you are. There you go. Thanks, Spark. Paw. Is he going to give me paw? No, you know what he wants? He did? Unbelievable. Okay, everybody, we love you. That's a wrap. We'll see you next week for Festool Live.